Hey everyone, welcome to, I think this is day 15 of speaking what's on my mind, what's on my heart, things I can help you with the most. And so today I'm covering the fastest way to build a skill. I'm going to show you guys, today I'm going to tell you guys how long it normally took me, and then I'm going to tell you how to speed up the process for yourself. So to build a skill, there's generally 4 levels. There's the unconscious incompetence where you don't know, you don't know. There's the conscious incompetence where you don't know. Conscious competence, meaning you know how to do it when you're thinking about it. And then there's the unconscious competence where second nature, your body does it automatically because you've done it so many times, right? And so our goal is to take it from unconscious incompetence, make it conscious, obviously, know it's a weakness, and then bring it all the way into unconscious competence. That way you can do it automatically. Now, this is important whether you're doing Taekwondo, whether you're doing any kind of combat sport, or you're in sales, or you're doing math, whatever, or you're playing chess, right? The faster you can master these kind of skills, the better. Now, what I notice a lot of people do when they go to, for example, like myself or other people who go to seminars, etc., is they'll learn a bunch of skills and then they'll try and do all the skills at the same time every day. And then they generally fizzle out and they're not able to learn that much. What you need to do is you need to focus on one of those skills and do that every single day. And that way you're building the muscle memory or the brain neural pathway to get that automatic. And once that's mastered and it becomes unconsciously competent and you become unconsciously competent with it, that's when you move to the next one. There's a saying that goes, I think it's like good people practice till they can get it right. Professionals practice until they can't get it wrong. And so in the context of fighting or in Taekwondo, on average, it would take me about 3 months, 3 months of 2 hours a day doing the same move over and over again for about 2 months just to build the technique. So I don't have to think about it so much when I'm throwing it. And then I'll just spend another month working on context of when I can throw it, what kind of traps and setups are needed, in what situation I can throw it and score on, etc. So 2 months of building, 1 month of pressure testing. I did that over and over and over again. And that was to get my technique to that's so I can bring my technique to nationals, essentially. So I can fight with that technique in nationals, or I can fight with that technique internationally. And I remember I got this idea from James Howe again, when I used to look up to James when I was fighting, also because he's local and easy to watch his moves and take his ideas. Where I heard that I saw him knock someone out with a jump back kick. It was like a cut jump back kick. And I was like, holy cow. And then I had heard from one of his teammates, that some days all he does is that jump back kick over and over and over again. And for those of you guys in the Taekwondo world who had watched Servet Tazagul spinning all the time, right? I got the chance to watch him warm up. And guess what his warm up is? It's all jump back kicks. That's it. He didn't even I think he threw round kicks about as often as I threw my back kick. And in lieu of round kicks, he just threw back kicks. So makes sense. That's all his game is, right? And so that's how I normally practiced. And that's what I would recommend if you guys are really serious about building this weapon. I'm learning one for boxing now, and I'm just doing one move over and over at the gym. I'm not spending 2.5 hours. I'm a dad now. I don't got that kind of time. I'm spending about 10, 15 minutes after each lifting session to try and nail this technique in, right? But that's kind of the long version. The short version, in order to speed this up, is, you guessed it, you need to visualize. And so there's a key to visualizing this. And so there's 2 major components. One is you have to make sure it's first person. You can't, visualizing in third person kind of helps, I guess, initially, but then you're going to need to close your eyes and you're going to need to visualize this first person. And that's going to do a couple of things. Number one, it's going to show you first person what it looks like to actually use this technique as if you were the person, whether you're doing handling a sales objection, or whether this guy's coming at you and you need to off-ball him in the face. So imagine first person that they're doing it and then you're doing the technique. And the weird thing is, even though it's in your head, it's going to feel weird at first. Your body's going to go, this is not natural. And it's not, because it's a new technique. And then you go, okay. And then you close your eyes and then you do it again. And you keep doing it. And I'll do this every day for, let's say, my jump back kick, my left leg off-ball face. That's not natural to me initially when I was starting out. And you do this until your body starts feeling natural when you do it in your mind. That's when you know it's starting to click and the neurons are starting to click. And if for those of you guys who don't believe me, I want you guys to listen to this. There was a study done where they took a group of basketball players. Some of you may have heard this. They had some of them shoot for a month, practice shooting for a month, free throws for a month, and they improved 25% by doing the physical activity. They took another group of those guys and they had them visualize shooting, and those guys improved 23%. And then they took another group of guys, and I think there was no significant change because that was the control group, and they wanted to make sure it didn't just happen. And no surprise, they didn't improve. But I want you guys to think about that 23%. And then I want you to think about if they didn't spend the actual physical time training, like doing shots, that means they could have spent the other time during their basketball practice doing other things. If you know it's going to improve by a lot, or about just as much as you're doing it physically, that means whatever you're not practicing in your mind, you can be practicing on the mat, or you can be practicing in real life doing something else. That's just an efficient use of time. And I believe the combination of doing it in person, like first person on a bag, actually doing it, and then doing it in your mind will help speed things up. So maybe you don't have to spend 3 months like I did. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can do it in 2 or in 1. Or if you're really phenomenal, you can do it in a week. Everyone has different abilities. However, this is a trick that had helped me. The first time I ever hit a left leg oppo in the face, I actually had never thrown it in sparring, but I had visualized it over and over because I was like, I want this right leg in the face. I might as well practice left leg since I'm in my head already. And then lo and behold, I hit someone in the face with it in a sparring match. And I didn't even, the weird thing is when you start doing this more, it's going to surprise you because your body will start doing things and you're like, oh, whoa, that's pretty cool. Like I remember my foot hitting him in the face and going, oh, that's pretty neat. I didn't practice that at all. But that, in my head, I had practice. But physically, I didn't really practice it that much. So anyway, guys, that's the tip for today. I hope you guys got some value of that. I hope you implement it in your own training. And I hope that whatever skill you're trying to hone, whether it's Taekwondo related, whether it's life related or work related, or even communications with your family or friends related, I hope that it benefits you. See you guys tomorrow.